Amber, you grew on me, you crazy son of a bitch. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Elliot Moses, and I'm still laughing over that intro. If you get the reference, you get the reference. It's like a 1 second moment in the new Scream film from Amber, and I was just like, what the heck? It completely caught me off guard. But yes, moving on. Today, I'm going to giving you an account on who I think killed who in the latest Scream installment, because as we all well know now, and if you're watching this video, major spoilers, there are two killers in the film. It is Richie and Amber, and I'm going to giving you a count on who did each of the attacks and killings in the film. The attacks won't be going on the list. They'll be like sort of like honorable mentions, but however, the killings will be going on the list. And a lot of you in the comment sections have been actually listing your guesses on who you think done each certain attack or kill in the film, and there's been differing opinions, and I'm here to give you my account based on my second viewing of the film, where I took notes as well. This is sort of like an exam for me, an exam for all you Scream fans who are going to be judging me, and I think I might not get full marks in this exam because I think a lot of you might have differing opinions, and that's all great. I'm all down for it, but let me know how I go. So let's get right into who killed who in Scream 2022. Starting off with the opening of the film, this isn't a kill, however, it is a brutal attack on our girl Tara. She got stabbed 7 times and also a broken leg. Now, this attack has to be Amber, and here's why. Now, beginning of the film, as soon as the attack is done, it cuts to the Scream title crawl, and then we see Richie with Sam. And yes, you could have probably think, oh, it probably would have been done overnight. Maybe it was Richie because of how brutal it was and everything. And then as well, you see the video recording of Amber from the phone of the Ghostface killer who cloned or has Amber's phone from her window doing her hair. However, I think that was probably a setup or pre-recorded video done like months or weeks ago, where they had time to set up the situation and everything, and then Amber, who was actually controlling the phone, or was probably or Richie was doing the call, for instance, was just sending it to her, and it was a pre-recorded video. And as well, if you see in later scenes in the film, in particular the meeting at the school, and then the meeting in the hospital, in a few shots with Amber, you can actually see she has a bruise on her right side of her chest from the kick Tara gave her, and then the impact she had on the kitchen bench, and then the fall as well. So yeah, that proves that it is Amber. And then to further my evidence that the first attack is Amber, later in the film, Richie does say to Dewey in the caravan scene with Sam that he was like, yo, it couldn't have been me when Tara got attacked because I was with Sam that night. So just further concluding that Amber was the one to do the attack on Tara in the opening of the film. Now moving on to the first kill of the film, our boy Vince got wrecked while he was peeing drunk in an alleyway. And this kill, I think, is Amber, because after this scene, we see it cut straight to Richie in the hospital with Sam as she wakes up and she's like, yo, I had a bad dream. So I think that cut, unless Richie is able to teleport, I don't think that was him. I think it was Amber, and Amber was in the bar with all like her friends, I say, like Chad, Mindy, Wes, etc. And it would have been convenient for her, or like easier for her to be in that location and do the kill on Vince. Now this is where I have an issue as well with later kills in the film or certain attacks, is the height of the Ghostface, because in the bar scene you can see that Wes is considerably taller, like considerably taller than Amber. However, I think they did use a stunt double for each of the scenes just so the actors, I believe, don't know who the actual Ghostface killer is while filming. But the height does catch you off guard at certain points, because obviously if you see like a really short Ghostface then a really tall Ghostface, I think it does give away midway through the film or early on that it is two killers, and you're sort of narrowing it down to who it is. You're like, okay, the shorter one must be one of the girls, and the taller one probably one of the guys, Richie or Chad maybe, guessing on like later in the scene. But I do think this kill here is Amber, just because of the whereabouts with Richie in the hospital in the scene straight after. So it must be Amber, unless there's a miraculous third killer we never knew about. Another honorable mention is the first attack on Sam in the hospital. Now I do believe this was Richie doing this attack when he's talking to her on the phone, and then he's hiding behind the door, and he comes out and tries to attack her, and then obviously She manages to scramble her way through with the chair and everything. I do believe this was Richie, because if you pay attention to a scene of dialogue later in the later on, just like 5 minutes later, not even, where Judy Hicks comes in, Officer Judy Hicks comes in, she is saying that it cannot be Amber because I was questioning her in my office after finding out that Vince had died. So I do think the first attack on Sam in the hospital was indeed Richie. Now moving on to the Hickses' death in the film. Yes, Wes and Judy Hicks sadly meet their demise. They were actually on my prime suspect list prior to seeing the film for the first time. I thought it was going to neatly tie in, I don't know, to something that happened in the first Scream film or something to do with Scream 4, but no, they got absolutely annihilated and wrecked. And I do believe this is Richie. I think these are the only 2 kills Richie does accomplish in the film, and possibly maybe one other. And one of my reasoning is at that point in the film, he and Sam had split up, and then you see in the aftermath of the crime scene with Judy and Wes that Sam does approach. It cuts to Richie in his bed eating pizza, sort of like a celebratory thing, but it does like tell you that he could have completed the killings and gone home, ordered pizza. I don't know, sort of like a celebratory thing. But I don't think it is Amber because of the height difference, as I said once again. That, if it does matter, the height difference, and it's not just a stunt double to throw people off, because in the scene in the bar, as I said again, Wes is considerably taller than Amber. However, when Ghostface does attack Wes from behind the door, they are sort of eye to eye, or if not, Ghostface is a bit taller, and Ghostface is able to overpower Wes with the knife, and I think that's only something Richie could possibly do, because Jack Quaid, or like Richie, he's a tall guy and he was pretty like decently solidly built in the film, so I think he's the only one that could overpower Wes in that scene, like going toe to toe and holding the knife. This is nothing against Amber, she possibly could have done it, but I'm leaning towards Richie doing the kills on Judy Hicks and Wes. And then you have to take into account that Judy Hicks is also a trained cop, and I think she could have dealt with Amber much easier when she's holding the knife, even though she was stabbed. I think possibly she maybe could have got the upper hand of Amber, but I think these 2 kills were Richie. Moving on to the saddest death in the film, but I do have to give my plaudits to Amber for this one. That is the death of Dewey. But right before we get to the death of Dewey, we have a dead cop in the hospital. RIP to my cop. I cannot get a photo on him, so I'm just going to put the cop from Scream 4. But yeah, this could possibly, I might lean towards Richie, because at that point, although Richie had gone in, or like Tara had seen the dead body of the cop and was going into hiding, then she heard the door open, she comes in, Richie comes into the door, she hits him with the phone. I think at that point Richie and Amber could have done a swap and go with the costume, because Richie being, once again, as I said, the built and much taller guy, could have taken the cop out much easier, unless Amber got him from behind, because Richie just told Tara, oh, Sam called me to come check up on you. But that could have been a lie. Richie could have been in the hospital the whole time, and then him and Amber did a switch up so they could convince Tara and Sam, who later popped up, that Richie came to check on them. And then as well, Ghostface attacks Richie, but only, or like Amber, and slices him. But I do think the cop kill was possibly Richie, and I'm leaning towards Richie. I'm going to give Richie the 3rd kill for the cop, and then I'm going to give him some credit with him and Amber, and they did a swap and go. But obviously, moving on to the death of Dewey, real sad one. We all know who that is. That is Amber. She does gloat about it in the 3rd act of the film as well, and then does say it's an honor. And I got to give my props to Amber on this one, because she did wear body armor, and as well, she provided one of the coolest shots I have seen in the entire Scream franchise, with Ghostface standing over the dead body of Dewey, holding 2 knives, just staring at him. That is such a badass shot, and I know Dewey's there dead on the floor, but man, I really enjoyed that shot. And on second viewing, I was like, Amber, well done for that cinematography. You provided an awesome shot. Well done, Amber, on that one. And yes, sadly, Dewey does die, but Amber does the killing. That's all I can say. Moving on to another attack on the film. This attack is pretty straightforward. It is the attack on Chad in the film, after he's making out with Liv and he goes after her and he uses the location app on his phone. This is pretty straightforward, that it is Amber who attacks Chad. However, I'm surprised that Chad actually didn't die, because Amber went full savage mode on him, stabbing him multiple times in the gut repeatedly. But yeah, he does survive, but that's pretty straightforward. It is Amber, because we see like right after Richie arrived with Sam and Tara in the car. So self-explanatory, the attack on Chad was Amber. Now moving on to Liv's death, I think this is pretty straightforward unless they use some cloning technology, CGI thing, but Liv, Amber, headshot, bang. That's it. Liv, RIP. That's pretty straightforward. We all know who did that kill. Like, right in front of the reveal. Time to start the third act. Amber was like, I don't give a F. I'm starting it. That's it. And yes, Liv does meet her demise to Amber. Now going on to the attack on Mindy. This is not a death. However, it is an attack on Mindy. One of my most favorite scenes in the film as well, like a clever Easter egg and nod to Randy's scene in the first film, and then a clever play with the stab film as well. I do think this attack here was Richie because he did go downstairs to get a beer, for instance, but I don't think he went downstairs to get a beer. I think he went downstairs to change. But a clever play on there as well, just to give you a bit more doubt that it's not Richie, because he's like, I'll be right back, and they're like, and then they're just mucking around. But yeah, Richie does come to attack Mindy, in my opinion, because straight after the attack, you see Amber run into the room with Tara, so they would have been together. So indeed, it was Richie who ran back around and probably just undressed himself. So yeah, the attack on Mindy was indeed Richie. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my breakdown on who I think killed who in the new Scream film. The rest is pretty self-explanatory because everything else was unmasked and you saw each one trying to do their nefarious deeds on one another. And then you see Amber stab Sydney, shoot Gale, which I thought was a clever thing. And although Gale and Sydney, two experienced veterans in the art of Ghostface and handling him, were like, yeah, Amber, it's a trap, but she manages to get the shot off on Gale. And then obviously the other events unfold. We see Richie stab Sam, but then Sam, you know what she does to Richie. She basically decimates him, man. Multiple stabs, slit throat, 2 shots to the body, 1 shot to the head. I don't think Richie's ever coming back in a Scream film unless he has like some long lost twin. Then Amber as well, similar to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Actually, I searched her up on IMDb, and then I'm trying to get an interview with her. I contacted her agents, probably never gonna happen, but yeah, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm just like, yo, you're one of the Manson girls, and I'm just like, you died in a similar fashion while you were burnt. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's a nice nod as well. I should have included that in my Easter egg video. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my breakdown on who killed who. Let me know how I did in my Scream 2022 exam. As always, it's been your boy Ellie Moses. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. Take care. Peace.